Camera from the United States of America. It dedicated this song to one of the biggest organizations in the world. We had.
Yeah, made a crack on the mix.
91 big boy Pekin.
It's your number tab is the ball.
Daily days.
091.
Yellow flag TVs.
Hallelujah.
Come on.
We are the organization. Don't care for every nation. We are the organization. Don't care for promoting nation. They know they mix my politics. They know they part tribalism. They know they mix my politics. Yeah. They know they part no tribalism.
This now we had. Don't can now we land. So la we all and fine. This now we had. Don't can now we land. So la we all and fine. Who know they back kapu. We had no mix bag bamu. We know they back kapu. We had no mix bag bamu. Go tell the brother sister them say we had don't come over.
We are now we are.
Tell them for me say we had don't come over.
We are now we are. We are the organization. Don't care for every nation. We are the organization. Don't care for promoting nation. They know they mix our politics. They know they part tribalism. They know they mix our politics. Yeah. No tribalism.
Big respect to the one who will make we are team up strong one. Especially to you, by Bure Kablai from the north. And to you, Shenge Pierre from the south. Admi Amina, happy birthday in advance to you, by Bure Kablai from the north. You celebrate your birthday January. Happy birthday in advance to you, Shenge Pierre from the south. You celebrate your birthday December. This organization, the 3 years, December 2022. We did tell members them all over the world, thank you. Yeah.
We are the organization. Don't care for every nation. We are the organization. Don't care for promoting nation. They know they mix our politics. They know they part tribalism. They know they mix my politics. Yeah. They know they part no tribalism. Let me tell you, Wetin we are gonna do for me. Ain't no church life inside the world country. Number one, in the people. They build outreach for the affected members for the flooding. Number two, they pay school fees. But you find the way them people them equals alone disaster. The people them, we are don't care for everybody in this country. They know they for politics, neither tribalism. We are the organization. We are the organization. Don't care for every nation. We are the organization. We are the organization. Don't care for promoting nation. Politics. They know they part tribalism. They know they mix my politics. Yeah. They know they part no tribalism.
We are Voice of the Poor. This song come up from Madam Sidra to Aminata Kamara from the United States of America. It dedicated this song to one of the biggest organizations in the world. We had.
Yeah, made a crack on the mix.
91 big boy Pekin.
It's your number tab is the ball.
Daily days.
091.
Yellow flag TVs.
Hallelujah.
Come on.
We are the organization. Don't care for every nation.
Fambolo na kushe enu na adu. We are don't come back today for can talk about things where they happen. Now we on sweet hearts alone. Now we own. Whoa. Then we left for do them bad things them. We they feel the most alone. Now we own. Whoa. We are. If we hurt you, we sorry.
Really sorry.
We no mean bad, oh. We just want to make we had go before. If we hurt you, we sorry.
Really sorry.
We no mean bad, oh. We just want to make we had go before. Fambule Munakusha again inside this one big family house where we all sit down and call we are. Well, of course, we always tell you, say, how they go, now so we they bring them to Unu. And definitely, things then they go on right now, the reggae, just a scratch now we had, and so it is sweet for scratch them. Plenty things don't they happen between the few hours them, now the social media. Well, some man they jubilate, some man they laugh, some man they twist in face, some man they say, una left we bo, na banya fakey, not to this we they eat. Because of that one day, today we get one big fish in the basket where we and Una, they can pick the bone out of the flesh.
Then the fish say, you know, they happen, it don't happen.
Bana competition.
Uncle don't reach inside White House.
A competition, na equalize.
Uncle don't get one-to-one chat with Biden. Una fish say, no. The last time I by come go meet with Obama, una they begin the passport Switzerland for say, na him no more sabi for meet with. Me uncle finally don't meet with Biden. Interestingly, one time in the Africa waiting summit back when they been go. Then at the stage, as then call and can at the stage, Macron be then at the stage, while the one bag be then at the stage.
Tell me.
But by protocol, it be supposed for calm and team up na the other side, not to for calm begin shake hand. But my uncle begin forget picture with Macron.
So your uncle chap.
So my uncle now, because he want for greet Macron, let we all see say don't shake Macron in hand. He begin the tongue fufu at the stage. So finally, me uncle, una we get bad that. Una we feel say it know the happen. Una we the talk say it know the go America. Well, it don't go America and now it don't go inside White House. Not only that though. Una be feel say just the pass backyard. Now Biden say safe. Now invite on this trip. The last way they be talking say, hey, wait me Biden no invite her. Wait happen we meet with other. Now Biden is say safe. Now invite her. But the question is, what he and Biden talk? And the question and the thing this way we can analyze inside the program today. You know ready? Today I did not pan power.
Do me, I do you.
Man no
Man
go vex.
no vex.
Let's do a why man no for
Equalize.
Boom.
Well, we Fambulem, just like waiting, we me brother don't tell Una. Finally, caretaker Bio don't enter na the White House and then get one-on-one talk with caretaker Biden. But the question, waiting na the discussion, because I know your uncle like him, so full like him, it's certain personality.
No. This one we discuss something. You know the MCC. Wait to MCC.
Huh?
MCC. 500 million.
Oh, they don't get now. They don't go get. They don't get the check. Or they don't do the transfer. The MCC.
Yeah, what time your auntie in song? What time your auntie in song?
So me connect my family. We talk or we don't do it. For the MCC.
Yes.
God help me now. The music. Now act man is song.
Yes. Anyway, me and don't dance for this MCC money. But unfortunately, I'm not here even call we and that MCC money there. It's like say we don't carry forward it for next year.
You know if I.
No, but we benefit other things than the NIG and other things. Hey. Listen. Today when I need for tell me uncle thank you. Say it don't do well. And they try inside the country.
Oh.
Now Washington, Biden don't feature her. You don't see. I don't know. Not the kind of democracy we get inside the country.
With Biden. But tell and thank you.
Yes, because not to all man they meet with Biden.
Jesus
not
Christ.
To all man.
Amen.
But anyway,
amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome we guests inside the program for today. As we can talk about all of them things here. We guess Now, posting this way on the Ragbala inside the Koreans working kept and cook. And I'm not saying I don't enjoy the kind way how it don't they analyze issues them. Well, in at the brain behind one newspaper where they call Freetown Post. Yeah. Check out Freetown Post in publication. They do extremely well in terms of putting things them together. Well, this man they with me inside the studio today, and in name now Mr. Lawrence Williams. Mr. Williams, welcome to the show this evening time. And the very first thing for you appear inside we are this na net. Who say we can call things how we want for color. We not get rules and regulation. We don't do anything we want for the but as long as we do the right thing by analyzing the issue. Welcome to the show. Mr. Williams, are you there?
Yeah, good evening, and I want to say thanks very much for hosting me. Yes, I did it. I don't know whether you get me.
Yes, we get you now clear.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me. Within the shortest
Hello.
possible time, you're able to give me time to join me inside the program. Well, let me start with something. Before I start for ask you question, let us see how best we can able for do this kind of thing. Interestingly, watch the welcome salutes or guard of honor where then do inside status. No, sorry. Inside White House. Outside we own caretaker, we na caretaker bio. Yeah, they appear for go na the dinner. This one very important.
Perfect.
Very, very important.
Perfect.
So let me first watch this. Some seconds, short one or more, and then we come back just now. Yeah. Hey, wait. Come on. No. All man need for see me uncle big. Because of that, they will run and back. All right, it happened. Finally happy. Finally, it happened. This now the welcome ceremony. How you feel? First of all?
No, but in the most serious note, I'm really happy for them.
For them or for we?
Huh?
For them or for we?
For them first.
Okay, then.
Them as a family. Mr.
Yes,
and
interestingly,
Mrs.
the first family. They said, in fact, I like the way how Fatima introduced the thing. I say the first couple. The first
Mr.
couple.
and Mrs.
Bio. No. Mr. and Mrs. Fatima. Mother. Bio. No. This is what it's supposed to be said.
I didn't call you a
Mother Bio. You are not talk with me, I call her so. Mr. and Mrs. Fatima Marabio. Anyway, let me go straight. Lawrence, welcome again one more time.
Yeah.
This has been the welcome part of the first couple inside the one of the White House they call them. Inside then go.
Take IP uncle.
Yes, we get for. Now, una need for sit down and wait for me. Today I'm your uncle in time.
We get guests.
Yeah.
Allow the guest for giving you.
No.
They hype no more.
No, wait something good. Look, me auntie Fatima, don't tell me.
So now we allow the guest first.
No, if you don't tell me, say, certain ten and they will need for the say.
No.
Mother be your Mr.
In
President.
this case, we get stranger in the house. Make we allow first. Forget about your uncle.
Wait. The stranger need for understand who that my uncle be. We need for say, Mr. President, you have done well. Thank you very much, sir. But then bad beat people and this tongue here. We get for beginning beat them up just this then at all.
And nine they go on right now. Nine they go on.
Let's go to my guest. Yes, sir. Welcome one more time. This TSO, now a very good thing for the country, right? For let we get with first family, we go and hold a meeting with Biden. Just that first. Now a very good thing, right?
Well, it depends on the context we want to interpret them.
Wait.
But normally,
Lawrence, Lawrence, wait.
I look forward for you praise me uncle and me auntie. But that is good thing.
No, wait. The angle where Lawrence starts in your analysis, why you shocked?
No, but why Lawrence?
I hear you say, hey God,
No,
you shocked.
No, Lawrence, leave for tell me uncle and auntie and thank you. Yeah, I think they do well. So now good thing for me.
So now first we guessed, for talk waiting you want for me talk. Make we allow
Okay,
stranger
okay.
for talk
Well,
waiting you want
by
for
the way,
talk.
if you can allow me, I will gladly.
Eh? And then if you self can allow the guest, me self be glad.
Okay, we don't need for make palaver over this. At least now me auntie and me uncle for celebrate. Lawrence, la put on to you say this na good thing for we country. Not tell me but it depends. I listen to you.
I like the humor aspect of the show. That I must confess. As I would say, normally just kind of way, let's say, billionaires club, or like way, I will put us in like we get a secret society, or you get a lodgement business. Normally, when lodgement they meet, you get the grandmaster, you know, or you get the subordinates them. So if there is that interconnectedness, that one lodge they come out, they can meet the other company. I mean, if you're a grandmaster, you go meet the great grandmaster. I mean, there is nothing for me. The whole thing, there's nothing special about it in terms of the way how some people they hold this whole or they portray the whole thing as if like for say the presence of a president in the White House or in the Oval Office actually don't fully come up on poverty. No. I mean, when they celebrate, if it's now celebrate thing we know say the better the country and go impact positively on the people that lives them. By that I mean, like for example, when the Chinese government they announce say they don't cancel debt of 17 African countries them where Salon said benefits from that day. If at that time where the announcement be made, like now the presidents we don't go meet the Chinese Chinese counterparts, they don't get bilateral talk. Then at the end of the day, that announcement they come. Yes, that could be a meeting worth celebrating. But on a whole, yes, I don't say we for celebrate per se. I will say we as people learn for be anxious for know the purpose and the outcome of that meeting. Not to the presence they invite with president, because after all, not only one they invite, not only one, not the only black African or African president where they invite. Now then 6. Will not see much ado or much fuss about it na Liberia because George Weah assessed me did it. Buhari from Nigeria instead me did it. This other man from Madagascar instead me did it. The president na Gabon instead me did it. And the other one says na Democratic Republic of Congo instead me did it. So when it's so special for we own, after all, if we should be concerned because they're not now US Africa Summit, why they not call the likes of Kenya, for example, the Kenyan president, why invite the likes of the Rwandan president, Paul Kagame, why not invite the Namibia president, where they do so well in Namibia, we just take over. Why not invite them? There is a significance attached to this particular visit. Not a tool for celebrate. I don't see this thing.
Lawrence, please, let's just share this thing with you. Are they going on the page?
Yeah.
Yusuf Keketsom Sandi, where of course we know say na the press secretary, right? Like exactly Wetin he say. He said pictorial. Yeah, today. Yeah, basically yesterday. Today, Sierra Leone President Julius Maada Bio was received in the Oval Office at the White House by the United States President Joe Biden. Following the historic meeting, President Julius Maada Bio stated on his Twitter account earlier today, I met with at POTUS at Joe Biden. Basically, they tagged them at the White House as part of the ongoing U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit. We had a robust discussion on various topics, including strategies for enhancing the age-long relationship between Sierra Leone, let me continue for you, please. Sierra Leone and the United States of America. This now basically relationship-wise they talk about. I go tempted for show you something again where it basically say, look at this one. Yeah, it say first exclusive. Listen, first exclusive bilateral meeting in the Oval Office between a United States president and a sitting head of state of Sierra Leone. Let's take them from this part first. The first bilateral, exclusive bilateral. Lawrence there? Did you get me?
I do it now. Sorry, we just get we get light issues now. Yeah.
Okay, light on now.
Yeah, but the lights it look dim. You know the power we come. The output look too strong next because the board they would use now and the megawatt or so. I don't think they look strong enough. But I think I don't know whether or not still they get me clear somehow.
Yeah, it'll be better.
But they get me.
We'll see you for it. Fine, one.
Okay. Now from all the discussions, some people already portray these things say there is this bilateral. When I say bilateral, it means say now between two persons, between exclusive, especially when you mention the word or use the word exclusive. Exclusive bilateral means say between Joe Biden and President Bio alone. Nobody else was in the room. Exclusive bilateral talk. That's what they mean. But from my research where I don't do, the White House of Joe Biden not get any exclusive talks or exclusive bilateral talk with we own President Sayar. And he not get any exclusive bilateral talk with any specific African leader. There was no exclusive bilateral talks between Joe Biden and another individual. The talk where he gets, to some extent, you will say bilateral, because now between him and the continent, we take the 6 representatives and then 6 African leaders and they will meet with as representatives representing one unit, that is the African continent. And if in that respect we refer to them as representatives, the way they represent one great single block on the African continent, then in that light we can say a bilateral talk, but also between him and Julius Marabio alone.
So in other words, the word of the press secretary will say exclusive bilateral. In other words, you don't cancel the word exclusive because not to them to no more, and not to that purposely make it go there for let them go talk about bilateral business.
I mean, America, they have their foreign secretary, so there's gonna be any exclusive bilateral talk. Definitely, foreign secretary will engage President Bio or in counterpart Leone Wayne and the foreign minister on that. I mean, the Oval Office too busy for beginning to get separate meetings with each and everybody where they go na the US Africa Summit. And besides that, we have our colleagues here as well. We get Amin Kef from Calabash newspaper. We get Amadou Lamranda Ba from AYB. We get Fofana from Gleaner newspaper. The likes of Amin Kef and Fofana from Gleaner newspaper. These are my colleagues, and we belong to the Radical School of Journalism, and of course, we conclave, if you like, what we call North Korea. North Korea and a group of radical journalists where they speak truth to power, no matter what regardless of the consequences, they defend democracy and defend human rights not alone. And two of we colleagues them, Dana Amin Kefe Fofana, we go, we get feedback from them. Besides that, anybody can go to the White House website, whitehouse.gov. You see the statement where the White House, the Oval Office, published concerning the meeting where Joe Biden gets with the African leaders. You know, I want to about the U.S. and the Western world. Now that that access to information and that proactive public disclosure of information, nothing way they hold in high esteem. You know, I don't need for take phone or begin call the press secretary in the White House or the Secretary of State for begin ask when they have with that meeting or what have you. They know they owe a duty to the public and they are supposed to actually publish such information for public consumption. And that is exactly what they have done. On the other hand,
so before we continue and talk about, you know, waiting this, you know, discussion been there about why them specifically call Caretaker Bill and the others, we want for first of all listen, because at some point if they make a statement now the opening, Musai he talk to young leaders them na Africa. So I'll be one follow we take 1 minute some seconds clip out of that thing there, because now then area they has in say then prioritize inside the country. So if that be the case, let's just take a break and listen to them in just 1 minute some seconds with the Kabak Gislo, please.
In Sierra Leone, we have prioritized investing in education, healthcare, and food security. Providing every child in Sierra Leone, especially girls, with free quality education, we equip them with the skills they require for participation in an inclusive and sustainable global economy. In Sierra Leone, girls studying STEM disciplines are guaranteed tuition-free education from nursery through university under my administration. We have also passed progressive laws that enrich our society and our democracy, including Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Bill, abolished the death penalty, repealed criminal libel laws, and opened up spaces for journalism and civil society, decongested our prisons, clamped down hard on sexual and gender-based violence and corruption, and many others.
All right. My brother, you don't hear you Wetin Caretaker Bill talk. Now this short clip will play you. What do you think of this? Lawrence, you get me?
I get you clear. I get you. Hello. Okay, now a readout in scorecard. We talk about some legal reforms which don't take place in the country, which is true, like the repeal of the criminal libel laws, Part 5 of 1965 Act. It talk about the enactment of the gender bill. It talk about the enactment of the gender bill, way for give women them at the very least 30% quota representation in all spheres of whether in politics, in governance, etc. And that is also true. With the marketing correct now, one the way not get correct, we will state them. And then it also talk about decongesting prisons, which to a large extent, that particular statement is partly true. You know, when you do fact checking, you have to state whether the statement is true or false, and if it's true, if it's absolutely true, if it's partly true or half true. Because when you look at the prison facilities nationwide, they are highly congested. And even though to some extent we don't see some infrastructural changes, administrative reforms within the judiciary, yet it is clogged with so many cases. Yeah, now we go say yes, we get judges where they sit at intervals at district levels, regional levels, then get this judicial week where they try for look into cases, review cases of inmates the way don't take years behind bars, probably so they never read a case, they never go court and everything. But when you go through visit the court, you see when they happen, you go say yes, we have not been able to decongest our prisons. In fact, there are many people in behind bars we're not supposed for this. So, man, I can just give you a few instances. Yeah, recently this judicial week, I think it was this November we done so. The judicial week, they review one case of a young man around 16 or 17. We don't spend 15 months behind bars. Just went in crime. It thief 2,000 leons bread. We na 2 leons, new leons bread, 1 loaf bread, 9 thief. The young man, when the judge they review in file, we look at what do you get the young man chance for speak? The young man say when he first appear before the magistrate court, he was never given the opportunity to say a word. And then just remand them for 15 months just for 2,000 leons bread, for 1 loaf of bread. You don't spend 15 months behind bars, my brother. And now you then discharge them without any compensation whatsoever. And you get number of such cases then, of inmates where they languish behind bars, where they perish behind bars. You get potential innovators, then potential engineers, then potential scientists, then potential journalists, bankers, where they perish behind bars as a result of some misdemeanor offenses where at the police level, in fact, it require only for like just caution and discharge the suspect. So we get some of the cases. So when it comes to decongesting prisons, efforts have been made, but the statement is not absolutely true. It's partly true. Then you talk about the education. Of course, education everywhere president go, it will make mention of education. It is a fact that the national budget would increase budgetary allocation to the education sector by 22%. Would increase them to 22%. Then one thing people have to know that the free education is largely supported or funded. In fact, that's the right word. It's largely funded by the International Development Association grant, IDA, when a part of the World Bank. IDA grant is a counterpart funding.
One largely, it's about close to about 80 funded. Lawrence, basically, how many percent will you talk about?
Yeah. Well, if you look now, $70 million now counterpart from the World Bank 50 million or IDA 50 million, then the other partner they put the other and development partner says they put 20 million.
And that's not
so
for
most of the reforms right? Take place in the education sector. Yeah, for the pre-education and for 5 years.
That be the
case,
it
just
say,
5 years.
Say largely, it means say if 70% don't go, a small percentage will they put. So if we did talk about 22%, you mean say them funding and they all be part of the 22%?
Well, most cases, government's not able for not transparent to some extent because, for example, if you renovate schools, put money and put public notice that you don't give money for put internet connection at schools, renovate schools, and those ones are also those activities are part of the free education project. Implementation way funded by the World Bank, they use the portray our activities in our government money. It is wrong. So the 22% I don't know whether or not they take for teachers them, whether or not they take for provide learning and teaching materials. But what I know for a fact is that the free education is funded. $70 million fund grant free money by the IDA and another partner. So the 30% na government they complement.
So in other words, if them people
it.
also gets blocked in terms of funding the free education, when they get serious bottleneck.
Oh no, seriously, definitely.
Okay, so now we can go back because the question or the reason being why they call we caretaker na state na White House for discuss with Biden and others. Now what they can talk about. But first, let me listen a small one from the statement of Joe Biden. When they come back just now, let's just get small thing from Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Hello. It's good to see you all. Please have a seat. And I know you're saying to yourselves, make it short, Biden. There's a semifinal game coming up. I get it. I see Secretary Kerry over there nodding. Hey, John, how are you, pal? Well, I want to thank Secretary Mundo. She is one of the brightest and best folks I have working with me, and for all of you in this room for making this forum a success, particularly in Prosper Africa Deal Room. That sounds like something that we shouldn't be saying. Prosper Africa Deal Room. I kept asking, where's the deal room? I think I'm looking at it. Folks, I want to thank you all for being here, particularly since I said Morocco is about to play as the first African nation in the semifinals of the World Cup. Serving with President Obama, we hosted the first U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit, including U.S.-Africa Business Forum. We saw so clearly the enormous potential that we could harness if we did it together. And holding the first of its kind summit in 2014 was a watershed moment to cement new kinds of partnerships between our nations. Partnerships not to create political obligation, not or foster dependence, but to spur shared success. And I emphasize shared success and opportunity. Because when Africa succeeds, the United States succeeds. Quite frankly, the whole world succeeds as well. Now, 8 years later, the world has undergone a great. Because when Africa succeeds, the United States succeeds. Quite frankly, the whole world succeeds as well. Now, 8 years later, the world has undergone a great many changes. We're still grappling with the deadly pandemic, facing down war and instability, addressing economic challenges with global impact, fighting rising food prices, tackling the impacts of climate change. And each of these crises has only heightened the vital role African nations and peoples play to address the global challenges that drive our global progress. We can't solve any of these challenges without African leadership at the table. And I'm not trying to be nice, that's a fact. African ideas and innovation helping to shape the solutions, and African population contributing to every step. So the only question when I took office was not if we'd host another U.S.-African Leadership Summit, but when. My administration's engagement with Africa and the priority we place on these relationships began on day one. We've been working steadily with regional diplomacy and investments to demonstrate our commitment. We harnessed decades of cooperation through PEPFAR and President's Malaria Initiative and other partnerships in global health security to help save lives and combat COVID-19. The United States delivered 231 million doses of vaccines to 49 countries across Africa and worked together with you to get the vaccines into the arms in hard-to-reach communities. Critically, we invested in Africa's capacity to manufacture its own vaccines, diagnostics, and therapeutics so Africa can meet its own needs. I traveled to COP27 in Egypt, where I announced $150 million in an effort to support adaptation efforts in Africa, a down payment of my commitment to provide $3 billion annually to global adaptation efforts for 2024. And in a year that has seen elections across Africa, we've worked together with the African Union to strengthen democracy and the core values that unite our people: all our people, especially young people, freedom, opportunity, transparency, good governance. Now, you might be thinking, this is a forum dedicated to deepening business ties and advancing two-way trade investments between Africa and the United States. Why is Biden talking so much about all these other areas? Well, it's because Africa's economic...
Okay, so this now a small one no more. Basically, as we dey talk so self today, you know, they been get another session where basically this session they focus on several other issues them where it's not different from Wetin Biden been they talk about inside this in speech. But I just get you to some of the things them where Biden or where they part of the session today, and then I will ask you the question of why. So today, Thursday, December 15, 2022, the summit day 3. They say inside this particular day, leaders session partnering on agenda 2063. So inside the discussion session, they get Africa, an Africa of good governance, democracy, respect for human rights, justice, and the rule of law. These are the things there. Another part of the discussion winner session 2, they say a peaceful and secure Africa. The other partner, a prosperous Africa based on inclusive growth and sustainable development. And the other partner, leadership work and get a multilateral partnership with Africa meets global challenge. So basically, these are some of the other things them. And then the bottom part and get what they call food security and food system resilience. So now the question go back with all of this. You find out that all of this program pegged to democracy, human rights, and the rest. Now the question is, why then choose we and then other 4 African countries there also for actually be part of the discussion with Joe Biden? Lawrence.
Now, before I come to answer your question explicitly, I just want to make some few comments so that viewers them across the world go to understand the context in which, or the lens or the perspective in which Joe Biden will talk. When he will try for explain basically in summary that they realize the Africa, say the West and the rest of the world cannot do without Africa. In what sense? What do you mean by that? Because we all know that the raw materials, the raw resources where the West depends on for the economic growth in Africa that is fuller. And it's a shame to some extent. I mean, it makes a sarcastic statement when you talk about how they invest and provided almost millions, about 30-something million doses of COVID-19 vaccine and invested in the African Center for Disease Control who make one who provide the own vaccine. Danny, they tell you, say, we're not able pool resources for developed research, even though we did in the midst of plenty, yet we always run to them for bigger. Now, coming out to your question, the purpose of Joe Biden meeting with 6 African leaders, I don't call the countries them, Buhari from Nigeria, the president of Gabon, president of Madagascar, the president of Liberia, the president of Leone, the president of Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, when the countries are getting common, all of them countries are what I call 6 countries there. They conduct very crucial elections in 2023. Nigeria, they gear up for conduct the elections. Liberia is for conduct elections next year. Salon self election next year. Gabon, DRC, Madagascar, we all conduct elections next year. And the conduct of these elections, the prevailing atmosphere in that country there, not too good at all. You don't get several incident reports of violence when don't they sort of characterize the electioneering process and the atmosphere. So it was also good for the president of the United States, some of the leaders there. You know why? Because most times, developed countries like UK, the US, through the agencies, they can fund with elections in Africa. You know, when I say, USA, you put your money, you yes, you mod all things for ladies. So, in fact, one of the things we have to understand is that already for Nigeria election for come before we own, the US government through agencies then don't provide about $50 million already for support the electoral process in Nigeria and I guess it's DR Congo, yes. And that money they go to the electoral commissions of them two countries and then civil society actors them or civil society organizations them. Even as Saloya already we don't see the likes of new National Elections Watch and some other organizations then don't benefit from certain grants provided by USAID or DFID, UNDP, etc. We all geared towards promoting free, fair, credible elections in 2023. So the US and two agencies, then they invest hugely they fund the electoral processes them. Not only in Asylum, but for many other countries them, but specifically for the 6 countries here where they conduct elections next year. And the concern where the US government gets, because this is not about President Joe Biden, no. This is about the United States government, the federal government of the United States of America. The concern where the US government gets now that the elections, then are 6 countries there, they are concerned about rigging, they are concerned about gerrymandering, they are concerned about political machination of suppression of opposition and dissident voices. So all of these concerns, then, mind you, they get a spice them. They get an embassies, then they get a high commissions there in other countries there. So every damn blessed day, they file in reports now the overseas missions there. So the US Secretary of State, they, of course, they get their reports there on a daily basis. Everything so far they happen at different countries there. So because of the increasing reports of incidents and concerns from, especially in Leone case for Salone, we know say the midterm census now the alala. The voter registration process will largely criticize say enough fear and all this and all that they exclude some people.
Okay. So let me ask you some questions then. You been talk about the things them.
Again.
You basically been talk about the different features them where then country they are get. Country like Sierra Leone, country like Liberia, Democratic Republic of Congo, Madagascar, Nigeria, and Gabon. Now we begin take a one. Liberia this better time we get a protest. The difference now they not kill people them. We self get a protest we end up waiting. Nigeria been get a protest where at the end of the day then self end up for kill people them. You know. Mm-hmm. So you know the similarity there. So the question now because of them democratic things they are, where they find out, especially when they don't be part of this kind gruesome or brutal thing before, or they can protest or uprising, protest from the different, citizens them on the government, and then government had to try for all election. So now they're concerned because then they pour a lot of money. We don't see inside this BNTM, the different diplomatic offices them in the country don't meet with the speaker, don't meet with other people them on the same issue they are so. So now, if you say now that could be one of the reasons, because when you take into consideration, and in your analysis as a journalist, you look at them in different countries there, waiting at the similarities they get, then you this not a thing for celebrate rather than a thing for worry about.
Exactly. So when that's not concern, where I see somebody celebrate, you should be worried. You should be worried because why make you worry? Because all of those things here where they happen at the country, and even there on the Liberia, the Nigeria, the DRC, the Gabon, the Madagascar, especially where it goes to a time when all 6 of them countries here they conduct elections in 2023. and all of them, seeing them problems them way go derail democracy, will go affect the peace, the security, the stability of the state, and everything that they occur. If you see an outsider get concerned about what will happen, how much we, the people in our way, reside and tap na this country, we should be even more worried than Joe Biden and the US administration. We should be even more worried because this now really, so man don't understand the gravity of waiting them here. I mean, not understand the kind way then kind concern you get. But this is not very serious issue. For let you get a third party, an external person, they go tell you, say, man, it's like you nobody can say, but also you they beat you for the but say you also not stable. I get concerned what did happen at you so. You understand? For let you get neighbor, for let it they can't tell you, say, when did that happen at you also, good, fine. If you try for actually restore peace, order, and tranquility in your house, then in a big shame, in fact, to you, the head of that family. It's a very big shame. So let neighbor can't tell you, what's going to happen at you so enough for the happen. It's wrong. So now that kind of concern the US government gets. And this why they talk not to Biden as a person raise this concern. Now the government of the US government, now in get this concern. This is not about Biden. This is about the government.
Let's look at other possible reasons. Yeah. For example, in the Koinadugu election, we see the kind tension we been there in that election. We see the kind possible rigging way for we don't take place. And in fact, we see inside the even neck ECSL officials aid and abet, manipulating figures in that election day on behalf of the government. Well, in favor of the government of the day. So you feel say some of them things they are all the constituency 110. Now we see them get embassy now. And then we see outside the embassy them. The US, the European, they all take up on themselves. Monitor that Koinadugu election. Even the one where happened recently na Tonkolili, they as well monitor them. If not because of the monitors them we been daily. That election day back the willing government for be done well. I don't know if I for be say win. But therefore, we don't capture them again in the opposition they are, even though now them be get a seat. So you think say all of them things they are now warning sign when they are around the 2023 election, and then people are basically don't see.
Now,
you feel that just discussion they go get, or they get other things that they go put in place for make sure say nobody not steal the election.
They get one parable where they can say coming events cast their shadows. When you say theory for happen, you could then see some signs of say this thing will be for happen. So now because of this sign and the very early warning signs and the total blackout for my end. Total blackout.
Anyway, sorry about that, but I'm not sure that's funny thing this for laugh. Now just let them see your own picture and then see your own picture and we'll know if now blackout on a dark screen.
Total blackout. Let me just turn the camera so you will see the 1-0 area. The 1-0 area.
Oh my God.
You will see. Say this not to up style. Here go down.
No wait, sometimes Lawrence, now you camera don't play. You the see we?
I see the way you are and everything.
Okay.
I tell you.
And then
total blackout.
I not even see.
Blackout.
Okay.
Let me just call for live side.
Wow.
Oh my God. This now we are on YouTube and on Facebook. We get Lawrence Williams. Where basically they talk about different things. Them inside where basically they talk about the issue of the invite where they give to caretaker Bio and counterpart them from Liberia, Nigeria, Gabon, and the other country them who say they all go and sit down and talk with Biden. Well, the question is what exactly then go for good discourse, and that we actually discuss right now, because a lot of celebration, jubilation, a lot of happiness, anxiety, they around the social media with regards this issue of yes, me say very much happy because me uncle able to get the opportunity for make it go Now the US, you go to the Oval Office, you know, for the very exclusive, as Keke Thomas say, exclusive discussion on bilateral. In other words, for them able for discuss bilateral business things the way for make the two countries they able for them paddy business go before. Yeah, but Lawrence just the try for tell we say instead of paddy business and other things they will be worried. Now, like where you papa very strict na us, him believe on this principle. It put money by you, but you not look the serious. Then he call it permitting. You know say you papa no say you not serious. Then he call you permitting. You go fit send a celebration meeting and day.
Una need for celebrate as you papa. Your uncle serious. The brother lights don't left for now. You don't go find Chinese lights. Let's just end before the battery again. They don't na the Chinese lights.
Yes, Lawrence, if they make you presentation just now. Continue.
Yeah, you can.
No, but wait,
see
Lawrence,
the
sorry,
fact
this on a
that
very serious
that phone
note.
lights are
I think say the Chinese lights look bright safe past the lights for slow we see you face. Because just not be the see you face.
Yeah, the light in voltage, the light will make in voltage low, and don't go on and off, since this evening, on and off. But we are used to it in this part of the world. We used to it. There are times where lights can really stable for the academic. I don't know whether something against somebody with the play with the switch. But anyways, as somebody talk, it's a really serious concern. More so when, as you highlighted, we know see the U.S. Embassy, the UK High Commission, the High Collar and other diplomatic and consular corps, the European Union, and others. Then don't they make representation? In fact, to the Speaker of the Parliament, now twice they don't make representation to her on this very important issue, including the PR, where the all was so now. Then at some point, the UK Parliament invited President Bio. You go remember that one.
Yes, please.
Where for the public consumption that they invite her to go give a speech on leadership. You can imagine people that would write book on leadership go invite somebody who will not ever write book on leadership to go give speech talk on leadership. I mean, it's ironical, a paradox that one day. Then now we don't see the Biden administration invited not only President Bio but 5 other African leaders where they conduct elections next year for go and talk about the credibility of the elections because the U.S. government is concerned about free, fair, credible, inclusive, all participatory elections, and that elections should be free from violence.
Quick. Sorry. For the sake of your own health and safety, are very concerned about that. I noticed that the lights they can very hard na UI. Yes, so please, you see that not just wait till your voice is very important. You see that you pan the light other side for letting not unbug UI because for take some minutes under the skylight and health concern.
Okay, I can just bear enough for like about 10 minutes. I can be up for 10 minutes.
Okay, I think now better continue. So you not just bought in the quick one. The issue of UK Parliament, the issue of Biden, them supporter them would say, at least this now for sure say we government, we caretaker, we president, it really did do well, taking into consideration all of the democratic things that we try for put in place. But somebody will get balanced view, somebody will get, sit when they sit on the fence, go begin to worry like you now. We get the North Korea view. Say you this now what lights don't come. Lights don't come. Lights don't come. So very sorry. So this now serious things them when we try for talk about UK Parliament. You say this man never writes book. You when you campaign and democratic values. You see inside UK in 45 days or so. 45 days, then Prime Minister resign because he not able to move the economy to outside. He feels it for go. He not give bad name. He not begin point finger at the last government to he resign. US government, we see just recently they get one-term president. All of them people there they show what is democracy. So if they call we all leader, I don't know.
My brother, so many things are happening at the international scene. Much of which we not even know about, but so many interventions are happening behind the scene at the international level. Because one thing we make international community concerned and why they should actually be concerned are the fact that say it's just about 20 years since the end of the war. 20 years, we say, someone would say long, but a very short period of time that one day. And the actions of the political leaders, the actions of the political parties, can actually give rise or some cause for make we slide back into that dark years we come up from. And so because of after the war, a lot of money being pumped into this country for rehabilitation, reintegration, disarmament, development, and in terms of certain infrastructure, everything, because we can't begin build all things back from scratch, literally. Sakamba did a lot in terms of building and certain institutions, the establishment, and let's continue and President Biosef can't take over instead for continue all that. So anything so far away go likely above or derail progress than they should be concerned, because much of what they see, the development and the country, the money they do, my brother, it's either loan or grant from international development partners. We own source revenue, we fund we development programs there. We not fund with the development programs there. Even just look at the budget for 2023. We get about own source revenue from NRA and other sources there. It's about 9.35 billion, and grants from donors, World Bank and others, are 3.8 billion. When you put that together, it's about 12.something billion. When you look at the expenditure for 2023, now 15.1 billion. So the expenditure way higher, very high past the revenue. So also therefore fill that gap there, that deficit there. Also how they fund that. Definitely
but Lawrence, we find out say even when we get the expenditure way high, then the government they don't spend this kind of boku money, but you go talk to ministry, departments and agencies and say they're still not getting quota.
But my brother, that is true. Let me tell you, I have a source where now seasoned economist and inside the system, but it will come out and everything, but close men to the talk, and it explains some of the nitty-gritty, some of the complexities when it comes to allocation of resources, when it comes to disbursement of budgetary allocation and everything. We operate a zero budget. What does that mean? Now, for example, they don't budget, say, okay, they forgive X ministry 30 million euros for quarter one. If for quarter one means every quarter and 3 months make one quarter.
January,
for
February,
quarter one,
March.
yeah. So if 10 March they not get that money they can say so tell them 2-3 quarters they don't give them 1 cent and any quarter one money they come. So at the end of the year, so then you only receive money for 1 quarter. So the rest the balance 3 quarters when at the 9 months you not receive money for them. When we say all the programs and other activities they go away for do within that 9 month period, they cancel. So your budget go back to zero. One thing we for now, university government focus attention more on, and it's so obvious. Once you pay the people a salary, probably not the day. Elect money not there for run the ministry. Elect money not there for elect they not get fuel. Elect they not get a stationary. Elect they not would do undertake or implement the activities they would forget. What should they pay that person? They don't care. It's satisfied.
It go tell you say not to money. One thing they get what they get at the end of the day.
One thing they get when things supposed to get at the end of the month.
But this thing interesting. It's very interesting. Then they pay. We agree say then they pay. But they're not able for work. When we say then they get free money at the end of the day. Secondly, then the day for the 9 months and not they get money, then get money for just 1 quarter. But this same ministry, when they disburse money, they can meet parliament say, we don't spend too much, but we want more money when they call supplementary budget. Who's kind of magic when they play with the money they lost?
So it is for the parliament for now scrutinize them. Parliament for demand accountability on the part of the Ministry of Finance. Now you get certain ministries, then like education, Ministry of Health, whether and they definitely they're not for day. They're not for day. They don't get their allocation by quarter. They forget their allocation and they forget them timely. Because their ministry, the responsibility is huge, and big ministries there one day. Education, health, Ministry of Energy, water resources, them agriculture, Ministry of Agriculture, for example. These are priorities. These are top ministries. They're not for lack.
Lawrence,
so
since you talk about all of them things, I go tempted for ask you this question because this all boils down to transparency, accountability, and the right way for spend country money or the benefit where any country forget. This being said, we see inside the South Korea government give vehicle to Mother and Fatima Foundation for sake empowerment and other one them. But just like the finance, so the resources and other and things them. We find out say the one they were responsible as by law for women's empowerment and other things them. Now the Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs. But they know they get them support there. And the thing will come now for the country and for women empowerment. But rather it go to an organization where they under the president in your private business. How they want to do all the work. All of this boil down to the seriousness of a government and how they divert resources to sign off for go.
Now, from my own point of view, a lot wrong for foreign countries they make a donation to, let's say, in this case, the anti-gas movement or campaign. Or
no longer at all. But if you listen to the foreign, if you listen to the South Korea. If you listen to the South Korea rep, where they talk, he say, based on the speak, where the first lady go speak, now the UN, now then they able to get discussion and get. When me say, he go do them on behalf of the country, not for the organization.
About the country. So, it should, now, there is a law, there is a provision in the Constitution. I can't recall the exact wording of the provision in the section, but there is a provision in the Constitution which I have read where it tells you any gift where carry side for the country where any the president or the vice president or the first lady or everything, any gift so far where they received for and on behalf of the country, therefore present details of that one day to Parliament at the very first instance. So, for example, the Russian government, DBN, see them, they don't read dump trucks, DBN, they do some other trucks then. Even when, there is a sanction, say, we don't forget the links with them, blah, blah, but then do some trucks and DBN, but they don't publish actually in the mainstream media. Government didn't. They give some trucks. So that's in the, for example, even this vehicle, as long as it predicated on the representation with the first lady they make for and on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone, in as much as it is already dedicated to a cause, but it should be made and utilized for and on behalf of the people of the country. In that light, that particular gifting, because a gift, a token, the details of that, according to law, the provision in the Constitution, you for actually present, like when they say, okay, take stock of this year and present that to Parliament in the very first place. Yeah, eventually. So if you present that one to Parliament, it's in our Constitution. It is there. But my brother, let me tell you, if democracy for work, and watch all sides of the world, watch countries in Africa who they admire, the South Africa, what they admire for democracy, the Kenya, what they admire too. Now, because the Parliament and the Judiciary, the Timapiranga one, the Parliament and the Judiciary, Parliament now they hold and check the executive in excesses where Parliament map for good. In South Africa, now the Parliament force and Malema make representation and say, Jacob Zuma, the money we take for renovate the presidential villa also, it overspend 80 for the money.
Especially
the Parliament set up a team Diana Jacob Zuma in downfall begins. We don't see recently in Namibia also one African country wherein the vice president, the anti-corruption commission of that country, they don't indict the vice president and charge and go court for corruption. A sitting vice president. The president not got no business for go begin Saturday. We don't see in Kenya twice where the very first instance where the Supreme Court overturned the verdict of the election and give an order stated for conduct a special elections within 90 days because why the election will be conducted with irregularities. We see the data back where they challenge the results back again at Kenya. The Supreme Court go back to examine the papers and say no, there is not sufficient evidence for justify the claim say this election begin or where they're called. So we don't see where Supreme Court to take decisions. We have also seen that in Ghana. In Salonia, you file petition. Believe me, they are sign them in the very first place. So the thing is, a democracy for work, you get institutions that make them say separation of powers, then they create what they call checks and balances. The executive go always want to get in way. That is normal in any democracy. The executive always want to get in way at all costs by all means. But the order they check their excesses now the parliament and the judiciary. Because our own parliament is weak. I want to say weak is weak. With parliament weak, now make all that here they happen. The judiciary no for talk. Ask the lawyers them way really an advocate for justice. The likes of Sori Segbe Mara, for example, the likes of a lawyer Dubuya, and this other man will get legal link, all of those guys. By next year, definitely we have to be bringing these guys on board and hear their views. They will tell you about what the judiciary is all about. They will tell you that justice sings. I mean, look, for example, the Auditor General. Can you imagine? It's over 1 year now since you suspended that woman on some frivolous grounds and what have you. Up to now, you are not being able to present a single shred of evidence against her. So all of the issues they are at play. But only if we have a very strong parliament, we have an independent judiciary for able to adjudicate on them cases there. Now we go see democracy begin work tanga one.
Okay, so now let me go back. We can't act,
and that is why the US government is concerned.
Fine, now I want to take you back. So I think before we open the phone line, you know, now the caretaker and the team not come yet. Yeah, then they can't just know. You feel say they will be honest enough for explain you exactly Wetin they go talk, or they go turn like secret society.
Now, you look at Liberia, gonna George Weah, the page, the State House now, their own page. When you go to the page, they say George Weah, the government of Liberia, they explain plainly the purpose why they go pay for, why some of them be concerned around elections, credibility of elections, and blah blah blah. In one case, that is not so.
Because we don't really see the press secretary don't begin lead the way for the discussion by telling us that then go get bilateral and party business now in the bilateral. Not to for say then go one way for the election and other things then. When contrary to Wetin Liberia do already do and come out say, then talk to we about the election and how the election for be free, fair and all. So you feel say the honesty or the dishonesty, this think over we leadership so much that they're not able for get the gut or the mind for explain to the people them waiting and they discuss when they go out.
Now let me tell you, 46 African leaders in Liberia no more than they talk the two. Not really know what I are.
And Liberia they're amongst the 6. And then 6 countries are what they talk about. So now your own country, of course, you get Liberia, Democratic Republic of Congo, you get Madagascar, Nigeria, and Gabon. So now only one be honest enough to the people and for tell me
only one. Well, now that make journalism come inside, particularly the public interest media. Like when we are they do so, it's a public interest media production. Now we get for like bring out the fact to the people. You know, they expect a government where in popularity don't decline, in popularity don't reduce, a government where people are really frustrated and disgruntled with because of the economic situation of the country, where don't become worse, don't they bad off since 2018 to present day. You don't expect such government, especially when you go towards election, an African government for that matter, will come out playing state certain things then factually. The independent media now role now for begin fact check, then comment, then statements we governments they make or government officials that they make, and bring out the correct information, the truth, the accurate, the balanced information to people. And let me tell you, that story where that short piece where I write today, this evening on this US, the Biden in meeting with the 6 African leaders then. Even when I make citations, attribution, then at the end I even put the American government the website, the White House their website, for let transparently for let anybody so far read the piece can go even click on the link and go read the statements now and White House the website. Could you believe that when that thing I share that thing that there so many people and begin sharing on social media because so many people were made to believe that now some kind different meeting the part been go all with Biden in fact now the prime one be the Biden be meet with and then stop and they so when people read it and some people feel aggrieved that somebody don't bring out the facts out, they begin blasting me and cursing me on social media. Serious one.
Okay, so let me ask you this thing, please. You know, when you talk about trust in this thing, when you talk about honesty, yeah, we find out, say, you know, talk about just Liberia, we get the gut for come out and tell we waiting at the honest thing where they go discuss. And interestingly, if Liberia tell we say that then discussed at the meeting, of course, they're not going to just talk to Liberia, but then they left the rest. Now they all get the same election in the car at the same time. But hey, hold on, yeah. Let me listen to Caretaker Bio, Wetin he been talk about trust. The time where it just come as, you know, the president of a country, and how he make reference to the last government, why the people not be trust them. Not just take this and they come back just now.
One of the things that you've endured is the Ebola outbreak. There's been a slump in commodity prices. There are challenges in your efforts to renew the economy there. What specifically are you doing to address these issues and help the country grow?
We inherited a very difficult economic situation indeed, but with some discipline, we have been able to stabilize the situation. Corruption definitely I have described as a threat, a national threat. And we have started the process of first reducing or taking off impunity, corruption with impunity. That is when public officials think that they can steal or do anything that is corruption, and that at the end of it all, nothing will come out of it. So we have established a judicial inquiry, which we soon start, and that is going to send a strong signal. Others have described it as a witch hunt, but what I really want to do is to tell people that you cannot just take from the coffers of the state without some accountability. This is democratic accountability. Monies that are meant for the people must reach or benefit the people. So once we take them on this one, the people we know now that corruption is not free. You must account for it someday. That is, we are reducing the impunity. We have also strengthened the Anti-Corruption Commission. We have changed the leadership and we've given them the independence to go after people, including my own government and myself seated here, on any situation that they find to be a corrupt practice.
So you've been willing to open your own government to the same laws that you're applying to everyone else?
Correct.
Talk to me a little bit more about some of the lessons that you think that the country and its people should draw out of the Ebola epidemic. One of the things that I noticed from the research about that time in the country's history is that citizens not just were fearful about a health crisis, they began to distrust their government. How are you working to repair that trust, to re-earn that trust?
There is definitely a trust deficit in Sierra Leone, like most other countries in the world, where the people become so critical, so distrustful of the government. And that is because that emanated from the fact that when there was an eruption of the Ebola virus, they didn't take it seriously. In fact, they said it wasn't on. So what I think we have to open our doors. We have to let the public know what is happening. We have made serious pledges to the nation, and we are keeping those so they know that when you say something, you do it, and then they will trust you in future. When you say there is Ebola here, everybody should be careful. People will be careful. But if you make it a habit of lying, and that was what was happening for the most part. So even when people were told there was Ebola, they said, no, this is not a government that we can trust. They've been involved in telling us lies for a very long time. So I have made pledges, and I'm fulfilling those pledges one after the other, even without international financial support. That is going to re-establish some amount of trust and confidence between the people and the government.
Trust deficits, Lawrence, trust deficit, very key word. The people not been trust the last government because then they lie too much for them. So anytime they talk something that they know they believe, in they open the government for make sure say anything where the people forget idea of them things and they. Of course, we see where them begin. Even in travel, we've been seeing them they tell we say the caretaker they travel, they can go this amount of people, then they go do. But at some point, all things just stop. But trust deficit now waiting a handle in this particular interview with the heat. So tell me, you feel that the people really get a lot of trust for this government, or then say find out in that same category of trust deficit as a journalist?
Now there is so much of distrust for a government we get mind for falsify, receipts of overseas traveling. And when the auditors then catch up on that, then they go for suspend the chief auditor, the supreme auditor of the country. So if they can catch State House, this not so Lawrence Williams said so. This now a government institution, the supreme audit institution of the country, and the audit service alone. Now if you not see and then put up at the report. The 2020 audit report says the receipt will State House submit for President Bio some of your overseas traveling expenditures and blah blah blah. The receipts they have been fake receipts then, mad with inconsistencies, inaccuracies, and what have you. So if the State House of the Republic of Sierra Leone, the highest office in the line, can falsify or forge receipts of the president in overseas trips, then trust issue they all about now the country.
But not forget not only the president no more, although this office serve the under but then as well point finger to the office of the first lady for the same kind thing.
Yes, Africanist president, I like that one. Then secondly, the election management bodies, the Electoral Commission, the police, the judiciary, the 2020 EU European Union Elections Observation Mission to Sierra Leone, in their report, they put on a big one, say there is huge public mistrust in the election management bodies. That is NEC, the ECSL, Electoral Commission, the judiciary, etc. So there is so much trust issues that the country.
Lawrence, let me give quick to this theory talk so. As EU talk about that trust day for the ECSL, then challenge the EU say all of Wetin and talk so not to two. In fact, they ask the EU who side and pull all of them source them. But interestingly, as them challenge EU, then they conduct the election na Kwenadugu. Usai they as well use ECSL staff for change figures them. So it just confirms say ECSL EU the report been there on the right track. So I don't know.
Okay, let me give you another example of trust issues. And the Afro barometer, was it in 2020? Yes, I guess. where they highlight the Parliament, State House, and others, and they are among the foremost corrupt institutions in the country. Now, that same report say, I can't remember that. Inside that same report say, now they didn't say, they praise the ACC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, but they say there is the State House, Parliament, then they are among the foremost corruption, Judicial, and they are among the foremost corrupt institutions in the country. Now, the government gladly and welcome the aspects where they praise ACC and other government institutions, but they reject the aspects where they say they are among the foremost corrupt institutions in the country. So basically, you get several reports where highlight issues of I call and trust, and then again, the former U.S. Ambassador Maria Brewer, before they go in last interview that was on 98, where he talks about corruption, where he say the ACC they do a lot, the government do a lot in terms of going after opposition and what have you. He said, but they need now to turn the camera inward. They need to look inward now and see. Let them turn the face now to themselves. And there is one U.S. report, the U.S. State Department report, the human rights report for 2021. Yeah, the one we come with 2021.
The last one we just
where we come out, yeah, the one for 2021 where they highlight besides the extrajudicial killings and what have you, where they indict the government for. They also make mention about corruption where they say they charge, they prosecute other people them. Then we can put to the top government officials them. They don't agree for prosecuting, they don't agree for charging, they don't agree for investigating. That portion is in that report. I did a story on it. So middle reader, I mean, I post the way reports come out. I know we still tell me but I could read the instanta. I get an amazed. So all of these reports by international institutions, regional institutions, European institutions, they all highlight issues of public mistrust for state institutions them. Why? Even when it comes locally, we see the economy. You promise to fix the economy. You promise to plug the leakages. You promise to stop the wastages. You promise to cut down on all unnecessary expenditures. You promise to actually provide or address the bread and butter problems. But that promise, they don't fail. You don't fail completely in that promise. Since 2018 to date, now inflation is a little over between 29 to 33 or 35%. Inflation. $100 right now at salon. You know, millionaire.
Lawrence, something don't come. The thing where you talk exactly don't manifest itself in this particular tweet of Biden. Biden don't confirm exactly what you talk. Now we read this thing quick on Biden in tweet. He said, United States government official, Pap, I met yesterday with presidents of the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, Gabon, Liberia, Madagascar, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone to discuss their countries' upcoming polls in 2023 and challenges and opportunities facing democracies. Lawrence, you get them? You analysis don't leave on
Biden tweet. In fact, listen, I checked Biden tweet, I don't read them. I read the tweet where the U.S. ambassador on Leone, where he tweets. I read that. They are going on at the White House page, website. I read the full statement where the White House published. So I not just take information from one source. I hope you understand.
Yes, please.
From the U.S. ambassador to Sierra Leone, the White House, and the website, Joe Biden in Twitter, angle, everything. I see everything, and I don't corroborate all the statements. Then everything they intact, everything are the same thing they talk. So nobody go kind of lie to me.
So wait. Now this thing are not kill leg. Why Biden the embarrass me, uncle? Because this meeting a bilateral relation. Interestingly, if you watch now the left hand, now this me left hand, you will find out say
so now they come inside. Now they come inside.
Caretaker you sit on there, now you sit on na the left, the first left, right na me own side. Why then tell we say na bilateral relationship?
You don't need for ask why. You know, Lawrence, you see, as you don't today, I not talk, because we get people in this platform. We always, when me and you can talk sometimes, and they take we as comedians, and they take we say they support one party. Now me find out, say, from the don't me bother they analyze, I just sit down, I didn't have my phone, and they smile. You know, you touch one point as the point on they clear itself before the gap now. As you begin your statement, you able for tell we say people no need for celebrate or jubilate, just they post and laugh, they happy. Then for try for know Wetin are the reason we make Biden choose. Then we African leaders there go put them in one room and discuss. Wherein people leaders them they we don't develop them countries them. They not call them for go talk to them because Biden feel say
they not call Rwanda.
Need not there. But you say on me brother, as we begin the program now, you don't begin to make grab for me.
I'm there for Gladdy. And it's still in a bilateral. This tweet na fake tweet. Na bilateral relationship they go talk.
So me brother Diana the house, as it tell you, you still a jubilate. I dey watch you because you can't do uncle in business. I dey watch your body language, everything. You know your facial expression yourself today. You be so excited.
I want to tell you say you Lawrence so na fake news on the pastor people there. If I this tweet when they say na Biden, now watch fine ba. No wait, Italian na Biden president, and not also Biden a. No, now yes, this no wait.
You need less?
No, now so you look like this na fake. Wait, in fact, this picture me.
Now when you watch another Twitter, where they call it, you see if you mark blue, that tells you that the original verified account of the person that was.
Big one. Correct
blue,
back.
No, this blue na person I stamp
na stamp the stamper. Na APC person I can stamper there. You know, Lawrence, as we don't reach at this point, I dey reverse you back. Now that your first statement, I really want to make you put this to people better one because we know I don't know.
If you reverse, we are the band.
No, wait. I not talk. I left you today. They talk. They jubilate. You know, I really want me brother open their supporters. They are them brain. Make it open their heads them. Then just they fling with pictures. Then on the social media with int. Pam, pam, pam. It don't happen. You know, leadership not come by competition. It don't mean say if the former caretaker go meet with Obama, right? If caretaker Bio himself don't can go meet with Biden, which they not even know the nature of the meeting. But me phone you want full up today. Do you have me brother? I want to help for educate to people. Come here, me brother. Don't you want to tell them?
Now let me tell you. Let me tell some other picture they come about. Yeah, it's very important to let people know because you know they say a picture speaks 1,000 words.
Okay.
Now just give this scenario. Normally, when they get visiting heads of state na salon, let's say the president they receive visiting heads of state. That's the way the head of state they can direct carpet welcome, where it is shake the presidency hand. Always they get a snapshot of that. Then the person you get whether they direct the visiting head of state outside for go sit down. You know, protocols, the diplomatic protocols. So that's the same thing. When the president can go, where then go, now then 6 go. Definitely, Biden team up for receive them. So they receive them one after the other. That receive where they receive them, where that person they come inside, it is snap with them. It shake hand, then they snap. Then you get the person now by Biden administration, either the Secretary of State or so, also a protocol officer, where they direct that visiting head of state now for say go inside this way or this way, outside for go sit down and everything. So now that period, that's the way they receive them, that reception period where they see them one after the other. Now then that picture they come out to
Lawrence.
with proof that they portray as if now that picture they come out. Now then because everyone, each and every one of them, they get individual pictures with each and every one of them.
Yes,
then there is a group photo as well.
Exclusive and bilateral relationship, like when you can go to Dubai on other side, we foresee they all two sit down together to discuss.
Yeah. And when they sit down, watch the Oval Office, you don't see where president go. Now, you sit on to a flag. You sit on a chair. You sit on just fine. Recently, this president can visit West na Salone. I think Namibia, yeah. I guess the president of Namibia in West
Lawrence,
na Salone.
You need to reply to this message because it's as a so you don't make her feel hot. And interestingly, that talk about the talk. This person we name Jalowski Mohammed. He say you guys are lying. That I talk about una the lie. Big Lawrence, I don't feel hot. The place called interesting.
Let's go check the White House website.
No, let's go Twitter. It's simple. Twitter and search for President Biden, the one with the blue
tick. Or go Twitter.
And I see me uncle sit down and I saw him fully answering. Listen. Oh my God. Okay, I beg. Let's take this break quick, I beg. Because they can fake information over the past 9 but too much. Let's take this break quick and come back this.
I just wanna get this feeling one day.
January 1, 2023, from 12 o'clock sun time to 4 o'clock afternoon time, Lantern go meet Carnival. That na inside the Afro-Caribbean Festival, we go be na Freetown for just 200 new Leone no more. And save, you go get 1 polo and 1 wristband where you go go the program for make the organizer them go agree for make you take part in the program. Can join the Lantern Parade from Radisson Blue Hotel and Bubble BN Ebenezer Calendar in Lantern to go reach Jigibonta Kappa with Caribbean stranger them. We get for come from all over the world. Then self they come with Dion style inside the carnival. Where for take part na $80 when a 1,400 new Leone. And for that, then go give you drink and snack for make you charm and chill as you the bubble they go. Come see costume, all kind colorful costume. And now so we no go left and give you jumbo stranger them. We self get costume them like featherback costume where you can wear with your polo or be the top. You can wear and self with short trousers, boxer or other thing them. We get the typical Caribbean featherback and headpiece. And self, if you want for add some African flavor, we get Ankara top them where you can same way so use as costume. We get face jewel when a then shine decoration where people can put that them face na then Caribbean festival. So Priscilla's hat and accessories now one-stop shop for all your costume for the Afro-Caribbean Lantern Meet Carnival. Forget your own costume now for go na Priscilla's hat and accessories na UN Drive off Wilkinson Road or call them na 078-681-471. And for your own Afro-Caribbean Festival Lantern Meet Carnival ticket, call Eminence Africa na 030-200-555 or go na the office na 114 Pademba Road, Freetown. No forget yourself your costume for make we go show them Caribbean them say we self can do am. Now forget to Priscilla's hats and accessories na UN Drive off Wilkinson Road, Freetown or call them at 078-681-471. The Afro-Caribbean Festival is coming to Freetown, Sierra Leone from December 28th to January 2nd, 2023. Air Senegal has a special flight bringing the diaspora and international festival goers to this 6 days event. With music, culture, food, arts, heritage, and memorable moments at home in the motherland. If you're not a rich Natong this holiday, no worry. If you're not traveling to Freetown for the holidays, don't worry. We've got you covered. Stream on Atlantic and enjoy arts, culture, music, heritage, and more. Relax, join and enjoy the Afro-Caribbean Festival on Atlantic. Watch live and on demand from Freetown, Sierra Leone for prices starting at $10. Scan the QR codes. Get your online event tickets now. The Afro-Caribbean Festival is promoting diaspora and local business connections. As part of the festival, diaspora and local businesses can also advertise their services and products for sale on Atlantic Network as the festival events are streaming or later as video on demand. This na new technology where Atlantic Network they use for stream the festival. So, business entrepreneurs contact Atlantic Media atlanticmediatech@gmail.com. Scan the QR codes or go to streamatlantic.com, atlanticmediatech.com or arevia.com. That's AREVEA.com. Contact Atlantic Mediatech at gmail.com.
All right, welcome back to this program where you watch right now. We are on YouTube and on Facebook. We get 411 where you watch right now. Now YouTube with 155 likes. If I remember, I don't know.
No, then they enjoy the program. You know, sometimes and the way somebody they enjoy something, they feel relaxed.
So now give me 300 likes right now so they talk. So let's walk over Facebook. And my own family member, that's what they do. Okay, over Facebook we get 292 where you watch right now with 145 likes. Please increase the like and share for me. So let me go now and begin hearing from you. Yeah.
All right, Fambulem. Now, you don't reach now on your own turn. Usai, unasef they can call and give on your own contribution at the program as we get we brother at the house when Lawrence and when a big journalist in the country. But some of you not been fortunate for see in face. Maybe you go don't buy a newspaper, you don't see a name in a newspaper, you don't see a difference, but you don't know what it did. Well, we've been telling you yesterday, so you get plenty young man them where themselves they help for see how then they push Mama Salon in business go before. At least time go come where most of the young men themselves the name go then history say now people like this been enough for see how this country they transform to how we want them. So
1 minute per call. Quick one.
I cut a quick sooner.
No, quick. We don't need for it. We just need for tell Lawrence say Lawrence they lie.
It's clear.
Because I know some family members and they can't tell Lawrence say they lie.
I know.
How you can't count them fake information? I say then go print and Biden.
Fake tweet from Biden in
Fake
page.
tweet. Fake Twitter. That is wrong, eh?
The tweet will even shock you.
Because Keke Toma tell we say na bilateral exclusive bilateral. So why then they can't tell we now? In fact, this tweet self show we say when they say exclusive interview, now I can sit down with you and get interview with you. Exclusive, now me one grain get them. But if we all go sit down a press conference, then they talk to me, then they call her exclusive, then they tell me, say me journalistic skills, they don't die.
Kabio and supporters and concern are exclusive. He left to
anybody
now I ain't take them.
No,
anyway, family members, them the phone line open now for you for make you call and put your voice in the program. Can't tell we Wetin Lawrence can talk now. If not true, or he said don't add for lie like me. JBP don't they lie pound na ya. Yeah, now you time now for call. No, it's time we get only 1 minute. And we not get for wait you for long. So no wait the time we try for wrap up. You can't call it painful way they want you view. You're not able. Yeah.
If we
hurt you, we sorry. We no mean bad. We just want to make we had go before. If we hurt you, we sorry.
Really sorry.
We no mean bad. We just want to make we had go before.
Tell me again, say you're sorry.
If we hurt you, we sorry.
The tweets are not a fake.
We no mean bad. We just want to make we had go before.
We get journalists we can for talk, yeah.
If we hurt you, we sorry.
If it really hurt you,
we no mean bad. We just want to make we had go before.
Interesting. We get with people and we actually they join with regards the subscribers. Then we get 472 subscribers. Wait, okay, let's go on the line and begin hearing from people.
Hello, caller. You name and who say they call me from?
And this you can't tell me say Lawrence don't lie.
Quick one, 1 minute. Waiting now you take.
The journalist president to the supporter it look like say the lie now they want legalize lie in this country. That's me they see. But Wetin more they tell them we're not supposed as a good citizen. Most of you not supposed to follow the
most of them are APC. You go say that they lie. Talk. Put on APC there.
Lie not good for me.
Hey God.
Much.
Thank you. God
very much.
Bless
it's
you.
Like say this seat not begin one for me now. I need for grab. Take call. This one you can't support me.
Hello, caller. You name and who side they call me from? Hello.
Hey, God. Mr. Kamara, tell we say this journalist they lie.
Okay.
No, this man will lie.
Hey, go.
And I want to make it clear. Let us be factual. If I go to Sikon Kimo, there's now 50 countries from Africa, nearly in all 50. Then go in the US African Summit. Because why they all this meeting, now the perception we don't get the United States of America don't neglect Africa. And that make United States therefore call this meeting here. Then besides 6 countries that they will get up and coming election next year, when 2023, including Sierra Leone, will have a separate meeting apart of the 50 leaders. And first of all, the tweet it come out directly from Biden. If you see at POTUS, that as president of the use a moniker as POTUS, as president of the United States.
No, Mr. Kamara, na fake teach than the yourself.
Okay, not so fake. Then the other one will not be better. What I do is, he said we discuss the importance of holding free and fair, transparent election and of working together to strengthen democracy globally. The United States plans to provide over 160 million to support elections and good governance in Africa 2023. And the second tweet that we come from Biden.
Yeah, send her for liquid. Send her for liquid.
No, I don't send them to them. I mean, I can send something to them. I don't. I just want to win a lengthy one where they discussed about 2063.
All right, Mr. Kamara. Thank you. God bless you.
All right,
yeah. Thank you. Sister, I've been waiting. Where you say one can lie?
Well, yeah, the thing that suits me, the comment section, everything that suits me, 7 Pierre. You know,
it is sweat and dry.
It is sweat and dry because you know they expect the 7 Pierre. I just want to say, you know they lie, but you don't call it a lie.
No, please. All of them get respect.
Then the exclusive interview, me, I didn't know say, because some people they ask at the comment section, say, why just this president? Because they go for go caution. It's simple. They're having elections coming 2023. It was very, very simple. The moment I saw it, I knew this is why they called them in, because America know they put in money where in no say in money they not call somebody for can advise her, who can't talk to them. You know? So beyond your exclusive interview, I not say if they get eager for go see Biden, because you know, rumor we don't they come out say you know go ever come America and say call you not go miss Biden. So, you know, the guy was just sitting there like one big mumu, where not a bit talk. You know, the open here like a big, you call a mountain fat foot. It's like, it's a shame. This will be a shame for our administration as alone, for our governments as alone, for people that want to support this administration. Yeah, so maybe they not say, this is not a disgrace. You president and take and go invite her for go one, for go caution and say you're having elections. We want it to be free and fair. We want it to be inclusive. We want it to make it go be very, very polite and calm. They don't actually know they jubilate, not they gladly. Like for say, na light, na don't come. Soba light, what in this society voltage is very, very high. We'll go able to for you go in face. Whatever, man. Shame on you, behind the exclusive.
Today, you're not happy. So before they say 1 minute, 30 seconds, you don't cut and say 1 minute.
Because I'm not going to
be I love you, Samuel Pierre.
No, like nobody. December 14, 2022, 1:35 p.m.
Take out. No say your uncle the lie. Accept say your uncle the lie.
Exclusive. Take out. They
don't go. Samuel Pierre, they don't go caution.
Just trust deficit.
You self-admit saying a caution, they go caution you uncle. You think say your uncle
I can't tell me. But I read wetin dem say. Let's just read this thing quick. He say, this President Joe Biden met with leaders of the African nations facing elections in 2023 and urged them to ensure that balloting is free and fair. Biden held a private meeting at the White House on the Wednesday with leaders from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and the one that we don't call, and to discuss election and democracy in Africa. The White House said the president was joined by Secretary of Anyway.
Even when I talk at lawyers, I don't answer the question already in the comment section. People were asking. I said because They invite them. 2023 is coming. These people are having elections. It's common sense. It's very, very common sense.
1 minute now you get. Take care.
Bye. I love you. Bye.
No.
Hello, caller. You name and who you they call me from?
Hello.
You're welcome on the show.
Yeah, this they can't support me. Go ahead.
Wetin Sengapi and menopause they suffer from as you the fan. Thank you so much to the reporter we give you all the facts. Me self see the tweet. How Keketoma no know the difference between Wampala and Master Bedroom where they can lie tell we say they get exclusive interview. Yeah, I pray Sierra Leone and say listen to Wetin the reporter don't tell we and gets the truth. This government and a jokester, they're not serious. Thank you.
You don't know.
Oshia, there. This menopause. In the morning, you also.
You know, you can't give me what that cost straight.
Follow Master Bedroom. You don't follow the country.
All right.
Thank you.
It sweet me. Hello, caller. You name and who they call you from?
Hey, God.
Hello?
Yes. You can't support Shembe. This is not you.
Wait, this one a comedy show now we don't get.
What's in that again?
For say we nation not onto
no, wait. You know, say at one point we been get Salon Trump, where we the entertain into the political landscape, right?
Exactly.
We don't get missing. So now me uncle don't take over. Move!
He don't replace. Okay. Well, funnily enough, then people they're not get shamed. The man wear in your coats, now you know the sweat way they sweat under the leg in front of them, they go in front. Because when it's na social media. You know the people are just interested. The truth, it just like a smoke. No matter how you hide smoke, they come out. This is just a clear evidence. This how them people that don't take lie and kind of power. They wanna get power wanna steal the lie. Come on, man. It's not enough.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Yes, sir.
I'm
not saying no.
Okay. By the way, we need 45 more calls and get out of this place.
We not ever take 5 more calls.
Please,
We take more than 5.
Wicked.
We take more than 5.
Good evening,
hello.
Please, take a chill pill, Take a chill pill, please. Okay? You know, then there's I mean, that was you uncle the overrap. Now Nazuki don't people play. Now Nazuki the sing now Zouk. I love music.
So the cassettes don't come out now and style for rap.
Yeah, I want to go on because as I see, he's able to hang like a 10-month scandal. So he cannot do anything. So now I want to go on. The last one in this way, they go on and so. So what's your mistake in the hammer the head to Bobo?
Almost minute you don't take.
Wait till I Bobo.
You know Bobo? That be big hammer day.
You get 5 more seconds.
Now, so please, now I don't tell you the last time I had the Minister of Information when we talk now 98.1, he said Guinea them the share 1 liter 17,000 franc Guinea. So I don't know why the lie don't pass now. Don't overtake them now. The lie don't overtake them now. Don't overcome them.
All right, call
the lie like a Mr. Like a more lie.
You don't exceed the time. Thank you very much.
Okay, you will go.
Look at the time for take cheap.
Hello, caller. You never knew where they call me from.
Defend me, uncle.
Hello, caller.
Now me call council, but the network not.
Hello, caller. You never knew where they call me from.
Good evening, we are a call from Weird.
Yes.
Go ahead. You get 1 minute.
Tell me, say me uncle don't score goal.
Ali and Justin, waiting more and let people do. We lawyers can analyze. If you want them, we can argue or say a lie. Let them go follow lawyers track record. Let them go follow lawyers in track record. Then they will know say lawyers know they talk something. We no get clue to. Anything lawyers go on any platform. We go to even AYV or 98 to any platform where lawyers go. They go talk something. They don't do research well before they go there. Before they open much for say any statement. If you're not sure of anything,
for let talk and not easy. So some of them people and they let them go they follow some people and know some people and track record. Then if them people and they talk, then go left for say this person, not to true they talk.
I mean, you can't support. But thank you very much. You don't reach your time. Logo. We get 3 more calls. 3 more calls. 1.
Hello, caller. Hello, caller. You name and who side they call you from?
Yeah, hello, good evening. From the peer. Good evening, we have.
Good evening.
Good
How are
evening.
you?
Yeah, this is Alex's Media House.
Hey, yeah. Hey, God. Me, I be feel say you want for can support me, but the name self I don't afraid. Continue.
Yeah, so what I want to talk, I want to thank for this program. I want to thank also Lawrence Williams for that. One thing I want to try for talk. Me na one of the people in the diaspora, we even share the link today. Yes, but this early morning, 9:00 Central European Time. That time I've been 7 o'clock alone. I share the link, but we President Biden invites 6 African presidents, including President Bill.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so I share them. So I share them. So I even share them forward up their groups and on Facebook. So from there I left for go. So what I left for go. Now I even share them from some group. If you want some group now, I get it called diaspora have talk. Now the SSP people then come at me. Lie, fake news, blah 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 blah. They begin to talk all their rubbish. Once I get this link, show me the link. Yeah, hello?
Yeah, we get you.
You live.
Yeah, me na Alex this Media House.
Okay, Alex, we don't get all what you don't say, but what I want to tell you now, yeah, I be honestly feel say you can't support me for let me tell people and say me uncool, don't score points. But now you don't can tell we say now with the get at you. Alex, thank you. Now 1 minute you been get Alex Smith, Media House, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, bye-bye.
2 more calls, 2 more. If we not get anybody, if we get 2 in the favor me, I will.
Adi, wait.
No.
Hello, caller. You name and who side they call you from?
Hello, this now Ibrahim from Riyadh.
All right, Ibrahim, you're welcome. You get 1 minute.
Tell them for support me.
First of all, yeah, I want to thank you very much for the effort to people in the balance now na Sierra Leone we had because the traditional media now people are not trusting again.
Thank you too.
Now they play a very important role. We want to tell them play. Thank you for that. Going to this issue where it happened, so it's too sad. Sierra Leone now they begin to discuss about whether this they talk lie, this they talk true. Now politics. It's very very sad for our people.
All right.
But
okay, no problem. Thank you very much.
It's true or this is lie. The truth is there, and they say.
Internet don't cut out. Fine, not a problem because you know they support me.
1 more call.
1 more.
1 more.
1.
Just I do worry.
1. They not support me. Tell me uncle. Why? For this kind of fake information where we are don't can pass. Why? Wait. In fact, the no one can against it.
1 more call. The last call. The last
in fact,
call.
Call London.
The last call.
Call London. So.
All right. Well, now they reach you, brother, and try for wrap up now. Make himself try for rest.
Anybody call now, say once not to me they support me the picker. Now go to William, Lawrence. Lawrence, yeah, you people are waiting on talking.
Yeah.
Lawrence. The truth.
All right. Now just clear the last call. Now we just clear the last call. Hello, caller. You name and who side they call you from?
This boss I say where he call.
Forget.
So now for can slap me na me face.
No, I not go. No, wait. Let the person give your opinion. What's happening?
This boss he can't support me if na lie. Listen no more. Hello.
All right.
Hello. Good
Yes,
evening.
you're welcome.
Okay, that's support your uncle. Some very uncle. All these way SL people and they do so not to say they know the truth. They know the truth.
Yeah.
Then just they try for make a point.
Yeah, now so APC
like
and
where Anes, no, but where Anes go meet Obama Obama talk and praise him for developments within the happen in Sierra Leone.
You sure?
But you uncool. Yes, the video there. Not tell me say you know see him. He praise him as one of the African leaders that we do well. But you uncool. Wetin and usa then go put her na Quarterdek, na Wampala, then go caution her. So una just be a normal and una swear and say, Mother Bio na disgrace to Salon. And no get no say they go wait in the praise and say don't do well. Una good night.
Thank you, God bless you.
Do I give this bonus? No, certain here. Just get a bonus.
God.
Get a bonus to close, see what you get for me.
Hello, caller, you name and who's you calling from?
Yeah, we are at the call from Washington.
You're welcome, you get 1 minute.
Wait, who's I can't take a go?
Yeah. You know, one thing where I want to know is America. One thing about Americans they not get secrets. Any tweeting, especially we now the president they talk. And they be secrets. The meeting happen at the Oval Office inside the White House. And a very important office down there. So anything will go on inside that office there, you therefore know say very important. So and they invite them 6. They're not invited one after the other, and then 6 they invite together and then talk to them together. So nothing of the way then got the share on social media we go contrary to Wetin then talk. In fact, myself who I get from the American Embassy in Sierra Leone website. Now that get the American Embassy first. David Reimer, I first tweet about that. So if you open the tweet, you see the full speech before ever you go now the White House website. So if anybody they talk this, talk that, more not just, there's core points actually, because finally there is a photo going out with Mother Bio and United States President winner Joe Biden. So that's a point.
Thank you, God bless you. That's not the last bonus call they take for today. Lawrence, I don't look sweat self-wonder people the pressure from your uncle. Anyway, we get 25 family members that will not join it, the family. We not say when they support we, when they subscribe. We see the subscription, they go up. Thank you very much. So you will feel say they're not the support we or they're not the subscribe because of what they discuss. We always tell people that say 90% of what they talk now get for do the government of the day because now they will get for all to account. 10% get for do the opposition or any other business. We all know say when we ready for give kick and box to the opposition, we not the watch face. We can't not fan boots them. We not fable with SRPP no APC. Wetin we fable with now how they go handle with power. With power when we give to them. We don't know handle well. We know they handle you well at all. We know they nice with you at all. Lawrence, please. You don't listen to anything different color than say. Now we are waiting to be respond before we can wrap
up. Listen to some of the sentiment expressed and some of the vexation. I mean, one caller we call it when they call. One thing about me, whenever I do write up or say anything, I'm very much transparent. And I give you the source system so you can go and verify or fact check as the case may be. But by and large, this is a situation we all think about. For let the U.S. government be very much express serious concerns about free and fair elections in Salone and 6 other African countries. The way me say, the way how the electoral process they go is not satisfactory, is not satisfying, and there are bottlenecks and there are issues with transparency. There are issues with creating that level playing field for all political parties and for participate. There are issues with the credibility of the electoral process. Now, the 6 African countries, then, but let me just focus on Salone. Then it also means the American government, they get a eye, they don't send the eye now, they don't fasten the eye, the lens, they don't put an up at the country they are. They watch the election, and how things they go. And anybody, any leader, any politician, any political parties in that country, then 6 countries they are, will make any dabaru business we go bring down Soko. they for no say international community go for hold them responsible. They go hold them highly responsible for that. Because if you see Biden don't go and tell us, because I mean now the junction box that one day, because now the world's most superpower that one day. If you see the grandmaster of the lodge don't tell you say, oh man, this is why the bills are not liquor. Go begin for do things right. It means say you complain don't meet, I don't meet, and say if I don't get for you complain. It's on a call that guys but boy and a back la can get so advice or la can get so one. That's why papa them the many. We did the Hamburg go small, they come up, who the Hamburg that they want, the Hamburg, they make they cannot see, we go do this, make they cannot see, we go first, make they cannot see. But something that we go do, we go say, nah, this I need to put my foot down and discipline this boy. So now that kind of situation they will find themselves. And we also be concerned as a Leone and say, this is not just about US government. Oh no, pull because some man don't twist that into politics. This is not about politics. This is about governance. Elections, they make and break a society if you not go well. So this is about governance and this is about elections. So we should be concerned and we also be worried and we for demand the highest form of transparency and accountability from the election management bodies, particularly the Electoral Commission and the Judicial, because the Judicial gets a critical role for play in terms of adjudicating electoral disputes. So then this person go say, I not agree with this nomination. Then they go say, well, I not agree with this result. So all of the redress mechanisms and they should be straightforward and it will be the process will be open and transparent and be accountable to the public. Election business now public business. No conductor in secrecy. There are concerns about how the NEC delete almost 1,000 names from the voter register. There are concerns about people that will go do exhibition, will go verify in the exhibition process, where the details and all come up and everything. So all of these ones are seen the way the eye for data. Because no one for June 24 can't just know someone say, the NEC don't disenfranchise me or what have you or so. No. We want to address all of these issues so that we get a seamless and smooth electoral process going forward.
All right. So I think this time Lawrence don't wrap up for we today. We get for release Lawrence now because he get for go work, in the morning, and see all of them things there. So the last question when me go ask you, I don't know if by way I get one. Now with then kind of caution there, with then kind of meeting there, so you think say salon people for hope for a free and fair election?
Well, it's about the hope all go. I mean, you go get hope when you see certain positive changes they take place. You go get hope when you see a change of attitude on the part of the executive and on the part of the election management bodies. Chiefly among them is the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone. You go get hope when you see information and the flow, correct information, because election is about information, putting out the right information, accurate information in a timely manner. So that, for example, all when it happens now, if you go and check the website, you will find every information, the current information about whatever the stage where electoral process is in there and everything so far what they do. So you down and I go begin giving hope. The need for, because there is so much mistrust, public mistrust for the institutions there. So for let them bridge that gap of mistrust, the need for be seen to engaging the public and engaging the public in truth, and honesty and sincerity. Again, the executive need for actually, perform in terms of supporting the NEC, not trying to twist things or gerrymander or what have you. They only need for support the NEC in terms of funding and everything. So the political parties themselves need to be very much responsible in their utterances, in their press releases, in their remarks, in their public engagement or what have you. So it's all about transparency and accountability. So as far as this electoral process is concerned.
Thank you.
Well, I think I not get question for.
No, I get. Lawrence, just the way lights go, we all lights don't go. Where lights come, say light don't come. And where lights been go, you been show we say look by the area way dark. Lights don't come, show we the area. Lights don't come. Let we proud of. Let we actually show say me uncle they do well. Yeah, lights don't come. Lights don't. I see the area 5 for lights don't come. Look, lights all over. Yes, the one also you see that now the people are not giving put lights.
You sabi when they say firewood lights.
Exactly. No, if you not see lights, now people are not on the responsibility of lights.
You know, watch the background. Whether they say firewood light, it's a bit firewood light.
When you go praise me uncle for once?
Well, the light day is voltage low, but at the same time, many people are not increased to put the security lights on. You know, say right now, EDSA top up my cow price. So for less bulb or the money.
You know the opioid discussion now.
Anyway, as I say,
thank you very
much. I
not
get nothing again for ask me, brother. I just want to tell them plenty thank you for can't join we for the talk the lie against this government. We don't talk now people do not believe. As a journalist, we be say before it can't sit on a if you don't crack here, I shut here, I can't for can't sit on because it care about credibility. I do believe. So thank you, my brother. Thank you. We hope to get you now this house at any time, any hour, any point for can help we give out the message to Sierra Leoneans them so we be able to understand who side we they come out and who side we they go and waiting we want come 2023.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
All right. Enjoy your night.
Yeah? Bye-bye.
Okay. In name Lawrence Williams, we na the editor and the brain behind Freetown Post newspaper. We actually been talk to we on different things, especially with President Bio in meeting with President Biden, and we ask, Wetin then discourse? Of course, Keke Thomas and tell we say na bilateral relationship. In other words, now for making the party business between US and Salon strong more and more. Well, we see Biden tell we say, hey, shut up, boy. That is not what we discussed. We discussed how the election will be free and fair. How everything, the ballot, nobody know for thief the ballot and all of them things and they, how democracy for make sure say it go on very well. Na then country there so. Until we meet again. My name is Sembe Pierre, the freedom fighter. God bless the country Australian where we call we are. If we hurt you,
we sorry.
Really sorry.
We no mean bad, we just want to make we had go before.
I'm not saying you not like what we talk, but
if we hurt you, we sorry. We no mean bad, we just want to make we had go before. By break of life from the north, love, peace.
Harmony, love, peace. We'll talk and come back now.
The way you believe we'll start the program, now no will understand.
No, but me, the truth, I don't like lawyers.
Eh?
I don't like lawyers.
I will. You know, so I know they ever like person to say the truth against
no, it's not about truth. Why if you can't capsize
the mic lock, eh?
Yeah, the mic lock. Okay. Why if you capsize my uncle in bongo inside this program?
Because your uncle na bongo-less gets always bongo-less.
Look at your other cousin, Keke Toma. They tell we something. Then Biden of all, Biden.
No, Keke Toma know the lie, but false.
No, but wetin Biden can do so? Biden not get any right for tweets and can tweets any. Why they for do that? No. The sick tune there on eh? Yes, me I don't like that thing in there. I don't really like that thing in there. I don't really like that thing in there. Why they for capsa with bongo like that?
My boy uncle.
Do that.
But me the pictures them. But when I phone today, fuck.
Yes, because we like hype. They say talk and do. When you know when they don't say
good part advert.
They don't say me uncle no they go US. It don't begin go US. Now it not only they go US, it eat and dine with Biden, the president. So that is a good thing.
No can rap family could they on, we know they on again.
No, we know they on. I just tell you, I just educate you because some of you only for the educate you now on them things there. Me uncle really try you. But wait, how many uncle is still like soft puss now? Now so it's still also like soft puss.
The whole thing just is sweet me from the beginning. Not calling me gets.
You better say some people me I don't go ever talk them talk there how they talk so live na Facebook or YouTube. I don't go ever do that. I don't go talk her. If not,
then come your uncle in
if not, we don't do this program. Then tell her for the talker. I know for talker.
But all that jacket we uncle wear the first
day. Talk so. But who that pick this jacket for them so. The woman in jacket like the man in jacket.
The man in jacket like security jacket.
I don't know what them be want for do that gown that kind of big waiting jacket them be want for wear. But unfortunately, it not fit me uncle. Interestingly, the jacket, the trousers and the boot we wear. Oh, if you buy that time where it been there in London, when they sit inside there.
Was it a 99 dress man so bad?
I'm not sure. So anytime you see me uncle dress so must not say they're not there in order.
Where that jacket?
Okay, what happened? Which one? When me uncle came on in Mutuka, it him up small. Now I move. You know, wait for me. If I wait for me until now later now, wait.
You know, it's so bad with Kinansi. When they pull up for the crowd, it heck.
They think like, oh my God. Wait, by the way.
The mic they off.
No, mic not off.
They off.
Bible, you don't condemn me against me family members.
You answer I said to you.
Bible, you don't condemn me. I've been telling you say send sick tune. You don't condemn me against me family members.
But press out.
No, Bible, you did lie. Bible, look at it.
I did lie like your uncle.
No, but wait. The truth now, my uncle in court, if you back to
no, but listen. Since the mic they on now, they are but the first day which my uncle enter na US.
Now you go to my party.
I don't know if now winter or na Almatan jacket.
No, the winter. Interestingly, electoral jacket. No, the same way it goes so back. Also, I go steam up, you make para status.
Yeah. Okay, you remember?
Yes.
When the first enter, like, when I say another can na America.
It go all last start in foot. It's up, so it's a big jacket.
Now the same jacket to be repeated for go see Biden.
Yes, Biden. Biden need for film me uncle in jacket. But interestingly, when me uncle go see Biden, not to that they wear. I see he take one something put now, big one. And the one that I want to put so.
Na ampa, call ampa. Na ina kiang papa do. Na ampa.
Because it put a big one so. And the one that I want to me uncle put so. Oh.
Your uncle would have the dress out and he chop. Oh God.
Anyway, since by way don't control, you don't
I set you up.
I
set you up big time.
Thank you very much. No. See, we need to talk. Tell me about the rich.
No problem.
Because
they can't do program. All my nice.
I think by because you don't have to give me gift for me, but then I make you have for balance. I need my listen. I get some money. I need that.
And designer they say gift go, gift come.
No, I need malice you. Me birthday gift.
I know.
We for
gift
go,
gift come.
On box and wait till you give me safe.
No, I don't. You say gift is what I give.
The 20 don't come. Oh, the 20 don't come. The channel in birthday. We still live far first. But that way.
5,000. 5,000. So tell you, we talk good safe for caretaker. That 5,000 for full up.
Because caretaker be any joke.
I did say
Hello. Okay, until we meet again, me pay the freedom fighter.
Oh yes, plenty organization don't come and go, but this one come for stay because in M, not the heartbeat of God for help the poor and needy. It's the Sidra Women's Organization.
Sidra's Women Organization. They come for help with the poor and Sidra's Women Organization.
The Sidra Women's Organization will be launched officially on Saturday, the 7th of January 2023. This historic event go unfold inside McKinneyton, West na the SLTU Hall. The time na 10 o'clock na morning. As the main aim of this organization now for help the poor and needy, the Sidra Women's Organization would look for extend invitation to all Soriat organizations, especially other sister women's organization for can witness this colorful ceremony. I say we McKinney fumble them. Let we not forget the date again. Na Saturday, January 7, 2023, 10 o'clock na morning, and the place na the Great SLTU Hall, McKinney Town. This organization is sponsored by a daughter of the swell based in the United States of America, Madam Sidratu Aminata Kamara. The Sidra Women's Organization helping the poor and needy is our passion.
They come for do their best to the poor, east, west, south, the east, and the north.
Afuma me no support it, cause them out of my money. Afuma me no support it.